Have you ever wondered what the true power of the words we speak every day is? And have you ever thought about how much they can influence our lives and those of others? It almost seems like words are just sounds floating in the air, but in reality, they go far beyond simple communication. They have the power to shape our emotions, influence our actions, and shape our destiny. Thanks to the Zen story that follows, you will discover what Buddha says about the power of the words we use and how these have a fundamental role in our lives and in the lives of others. So, if up until now you have underestimated the power of words, stay until the end because you will receive concrete advice on how to use them in the best way. But before continuing, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to be updated when we publish new content. In a distant Buddhist monastery located in a beautiful valley among the Himalayan mountains, the elderly and wise monk Kon was teaching a lesson on the power of communication. Dear disciples, as Buddha said, words have the power to destroy and create, began the monk in a calm voice. Like fire that can warm or burn, words can nourish the spirits or deeply wound the soul of those who receive them. Imagine standing in front of a calm, clear lake. Kon continued, with just one stone, you could disturb its placid surface and create ripples that would spread in every direction. Likewise, with a cutting or derogatory word, you could cause pain and disharmony in the hearts of others. As the disciples nodded, reflecting on the deeper meaning of their master's words, Kon began to tell a story. Long ago, in the village at the foot of the monastery, there was a farmer named Isao. This man was famous for his pessimistic words. In every conversation, he lamented the difficulties of life as a farmer, claiming that the harvest was never bountiful enough and that fortune was always against him. Continuing to repeat that the harvest was poor, his heart and mind began to believe in this limitation, and little by little, things started to get worse and worse. The crops, which in reality were not so poor, began to fail, and the farmer's affairs worsened month after month, leading him to live in a condition of poverty. The monk connected this story to daily life, underlining the power of words in the life of each of us. Words, said Kon, are not just tools of communication. They are creators of reality, whether they are addressed to ourselves or to others. Isao's negative and self-deprecating words, continued the master, fueled limiting thoughts, generating self-destructive behaviors that ended up producing the negative results the farmer imagined. Words of encouragement, compassion, and gratitude, on the contrary, can nourish confidence, personal effectiveness, mental balance, and emotional well-being. As the disciples reflected on the power of their words and the many circumstances in which they had harmed themselves through miscommunication, Kon continued. Even when we communicate with others, he said, the words we choose can shape relationships and their quality. Kind, respectful, and thoughtful words can create stronger bonds, promoting a climate of trust and mutual understanding. On the contrary, disrespectful and pessimistic words can create friction, antipathy, and misunderstandings, undermining human relationships. No, said Kon, that words are not just tools we use to make people understand what we think, but mirrors of our soul through which we can express desires, ideas, and values. With words, we can inspire, educate, persuade, and change the world around us. Remember, the master added that the way we talk to ourselves, to others, and about others affects our mood, determines the course of our day, and can even shape our future. Because words can be both constructive and destructive, we often speak emotionally, impulsively. We are accustomed to using words of blame or judgment more easily, without awareness of their impact on those who listen to us. When we talk to ourselves, our internal dialogue can influence our emotional state, our motivation, and our self-esteem. And when we talk to others, if we use the right words, we can create healthy relationships, while if we use the wrong ones, we can generate misunderstandings, ruin relationships, and demotivate those in front of us. Sometimes, even when we try to use neutral or diplomatic words, the voice, tone, and nonverbal language of our body betray our internal experience, raising walls between us and others. Do you know what the Buddha said? Asked the monk rhetorically. He said that when words are sincere and kind, they can change the world. And to use words that build bridges between people, we must focus on what we deeply desire and the need we want to satisfy. However, at the same time, we must also understand the need of the other in the same situation, so that we can proceed in unison and favor the inner peace of both. Remember that the word is a conscious creative act which, if used in the right way, unravels critical issues and leads to extraordinary results. Some verbs, such as I want, I can, I choose, have a very powerful energetic charge and transmit a precise order to matter. In the solemn silence of the monastery, the disciples assimilated the master's teachings, aware that the magical power of the words would shape their destiny and the reality in which they would live. But Cone did not stop there and decided to continue. Now, my dears, we will go beyond the stories and delve into the power of words through deeper practices, he said. The monk guided his disciples in meditations, verbal awareness exercises, and moments of reflection, making them understand that the power of words was not just conceptual, but a living and dynamic force to be explored deeply. The days in the monastery were full of wisdom, practice, and introspection. Cone encouraged his disciples to observe how their words were woven into the fabric of their daily existence. And he asked them to explore the connection between the words spoken, the energy they brought with them, and the effects they created in their daily lives and in those of others. During the meditations, the disciples experienced the silent power of unspoken words. They realized that sometimes the power of a pause, of a silence, surpassed that of the words themselves. Cone guided them in the art of speaking with intention, opening their mouths only when they were sure of what they wanted to say. Furthermore, he underlined the importance of listening with deep awareness, because listening is the second side of the coin. Guys, said the monk, when you talk to yourself in your internal dialogues, always use kind words. Replace the I must/should with I want/I would, immediately moving from obligation to pleasure. Then, use less dramatic words to describe situations. Instead of words that communicate negativity, use less dramatic expressions. For example, replace I'm angry with I'm a bit annoyed, or I'm a mess with I can do better than this. Immersed in age-old wisdom and contemplative practice, the disciples discovered the power to transform their reality through the conscious use of words. And they understood that the power of words was not just a lesson to listen to, but a practice to cultivate every day. But what does this story teach us? What does it convey to us that is so important? That words are a powerful tool that influences the way we relate to ourselves and others, and that their impact can be profound and lasting, both for those who say them and for those who listen to them. So here is some practical advice that Master Kone gave to his disciples before dismissing them. My dears, choose them carefully. Pay attention to the words you use and avoid offensive or vulgar language, trying to use words that convey your message clearly and respectfully. Be aware of the emotional impact of words, which have the power to evoke emotions and influence people's mood. Always use positive, encouraging words that inspire confidence in others. Adapt the language to the type of person in front of you. Consider the other person's level of knowledge and understanding, and use appropriate language to facilitate mutual understanding. And remember that effective communication isn't just about using words, it's also about active listening. Try to listen carefully to others so as to respond appropriately. May your words be guiding lights on your journey of spiritual and personal growth, illuminating the path to a spiritual awakening full of wisdom and fulfillment.